everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. Very excited to be here with you and to have this word come up today because I think it's critical for us both in our families and in the world, and that word is cooperation. So let's make this a little bit bigger so you can really see it a little bit. There you go. So this morning, let's read the description first, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Cooperation is working together for the good of all. It is the willingness to stand side by side and use the different gifts each of us has to offer. We seek common goals in service of a united vision. We blend our abilities to create something none of us could achieve alone. Conflict and contention drain us. Cooperation can fuel our dreams. With cooperation, we help one another to share the load. We willingly do tasks that others ask of us. We look for ways to be helpful and ask for help when we need it. We do not isolate or harbor our loneliness. Together we accomplish greater things. Wow, what a great word and what a great virtue to be working on both in the family and outside of the family, in our workplace or in our community. As I read this morning, I was thinking about how it's so much easier and more fulfilling and even it gets greater things done than we could imagine ourselves when we're able to work with others and use our abilities along with their abilities to create whatever it is that we're creating. And sometimes that cooperation is, our ability, our willingness, let's say, to listen to other people and to hear what their thoughts are and their way of looking at something. And, when there's conflict, usually it's because we're not willing to listen and find the common ground that we have. And when we have a cooperation and when there's working together, it's usually because we are willing to listen, right? And we're, okay, that's a good idea. So let's combine that with this, and and then things get really accomplished. And the same thing is true in the family. If we leave it all up, if all of the tasks that need to be taken care of in a home and with a family are left up to one person, then it becomes very unbalanced. And the person that it's left up to can actually become, they can feel alone in whatever it is that they're doing and raising the family and disciplining the kids and teaching new things, or, giving baths or whatever the case might be. But cooperation, when we cooperate, and I'm not just talking about husbands and wives and spouses and partners cooperating together. What I'm talking about is the whole family cooperating together. And so to me, this is one of those very foundational virtues for any family. And sometimes in a family, it's funny because parents will come to me, I just want my kids to cooperate more, when in fact what they're saying is, I want my kids to obey me. And so we have to identify exactly what cooperation is. It's working together. It's willing to listen to each other. It's finding what we have and making sure that we have a vision and a mission, and that we're united around some ideal or some goal. And so in a family, that could be many different things. In some families, it might be, I'm thinking about like Tiger Woods' family. His dad and mom were very devoted to him becoming a golfer, and that's what they live their life by. And it's not up to me or anybody else to say what is the right thing or wrong thing for folks to attach themselves to, or to have as their common goal. But I can say that when we cooperate with each other and we have that vision, then we are more united, and cooperation, like in doing tasks around the house and that sort of thing, become can, if we choose them to be, if we have that vision, if we have those, if we have that focus on those things, can be very helpful to everyone and brings about a greater amount of happiness. So, how do we teach our kids about cooperation? It's by demonstrating it first, right? We demonstrate it with each other as spouses and partners. And if we're a single parent, it might be cooperation with a family member outside of the immediate household, someone that lives someplace else that comes in and helps us. It could be cooperation even with our kids. So let's say we have a child that's 4 or 5 years old. What can you do that shows cooperation? Well, you cooperate by working together, by folding clothes or by putting them in the laundry, but then cooperation, is a two-way street. So that means that in addition to doing those kinds of tasks, then we also need to see, and consider what it is that the other person needs to be able to have the willingness to do those tasks and that they've been asked to help with. So that's what's so great about cooperation. It's that working together. It's that win-win. It's the opportunity to achieve and accomplish things that are most important to us. And so, I guess the last thing I want to say about cooperation today and parenting is that it's so, so important to have that clarity about who we are, what we stand for, what we hope for, what our goals are, what our vision is, and have a mission statement that says these things so that they can be worked on together, and sitting down on a weekly basis so that we can work out what is our schedule going to be this week, and what are we doing so that what can we do so that we're demonstrating this virtue of cooperation? What can we do to help each other so that we have time to do some of these other things that we want to do? So those are my thoughts today about cooperation. I'm fortunate this week to have our two of our grandkids here, and next week we'll have another one. But and so we're working with them, even demonstrating to them and to their family what cooperation is all about, how we can work together. I love this word, and I hope that in my own personal life that I can demonstrate this virtue to a greater degree on each and every day. It's something to think about and really to focus on. So I thank you very much for being here today, and it's a beginning of a brand new week. Each morning we will have a brand new virtue to consider and to focus on for the day. And when we do that, what we do is we awaken those virtues inside of ourselves. If we discuss them with our children, we start to awaken them inside of our children, even if they're very, very young. 2 years old, 1 year old, we can still use those words. We can describe them in a simple language. And it's not meant that they grasp the full meaning of it, but they begin to see what's important to us. And that's the reason that we focus on the virtues as a whole. If there's nothing else that we're able to do, if we can bring out the best in our children as parents, if we can bring out their best, we'll also find that we're bringing out the best in ourselves, and that all of those virtues will begin to really be shown to be fruitful. They'll be beautiful as they come out. So that's why we do this. So if you like this, share it with others, like our videos, join us on YouTube, and above all, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. All right, until next time, bye.